And we're on.
Alright, we alive. Alright. Still trying to get that as a catchphrase. Alright. Thanks a bit of work. How's the light today? Not too bad. Just ticking down to 11 o'clock. We're almost there. Just checking that we're recording. Yep. Red light is on. We are live. Ah, there we go. Rightio, so almost 11 o'clock here in the People's Garden. A little bit overcast today. Wouldn't say cold, but certainly there's a freshness in the air, but that's just a sign of the changing seasons. More on that soon. Just come from the kids' assembly where Eliza got up and did a performance. So proud of her. She's such a natural at performing in front of people. Wonder where she gets that from. Actually, just before we start, we might be able to slip in a joke of the week. Joke of the week this week is brought to you by my daughter, Eliza. She's 5. She said to me the other day, what does a cow like to do in its spare time? Go to the movies. Thank you, Eliza, for joke of the week. Right, it's almost 11 o'clock. Woo, we're going to welcome a few special guests today. Welcome them to the show. And speaking of welcomes, welcome to the People's Garden. And welcome to Monday Morning Live, where we will spread love, give flowers with Monday morning shout-outs. We'll do live gardening to do with Basil. We'll look back at the week that was, take a look at the week ahead. All those things and many more coming up right here, right now, on Monday Morning Live, where we start off today with live gardening. Let's check in with our Basil. And I'm not talking about this Basil, who was a very special guest on the show last week and joins us again. Welcome, Basil. I'm talking about this Basil, the basil that we sowed into these Jiffy pallets last week here on Monday Morning Live. And I want to show you the good news, they have germinated. Can you see there just a little bit of growth? A little bit of growth. Just popping through there, so they're going to be ready to be planted on very soon. Now, as you will know, as an avid viewer, no doubt that you are, of my YouTube channel, which is Grow with Benny's.
Alright.
I did a little special called Tomato-rama. It was the great tomato growing experiment of 2023. I grew them in different ways. Some of them I trimmed off the laterals. Now, just quickly, when we talk about a lateral, we talk about a main stem, a side leaf, and the lateral is a little one that comes off on about a 45-degree angle. If left alone, that'll grow into a separate shoot. So when we did our tomatoes, we cut those laterals off to really good results. The other thing that gave us really good results is growing our tomatoes with a companion plant of basil. Now, just as a little bit of live gardening, what we're going to do with our basil, we're going to do the opposite approach. Sorry, Basil. We're going to take the opposite approach that we did with our tomatoes. You see the Bray's with us, he always is. Instead of trimming off those laterals, we're going to encourage them. We're actually going to trim off the main stem to encourage 2 sort of side laterals to grow. So that essentially you get it as a shorter bush with much more foliage, as opposed to longer, spindlier shoots like these ones. These are good if you want to leave them to go to seed. Then you can save the seeds like we did with our basil, and then you can sow them on. But what we're going to do today is we're going to find the main shoot. And we're going to just pluck it off. I said pluck, Basil. Keep it clean this week. And what will happen now is those 2 side shoots will go. Then they will form another main shoot. We'll trim that off, and we'll get lots of side shoots, lots of bushy foliage, as opposed to a big spindly plant. There we go, live gardening here on Monday Morning Live. Let's get into the week that was. Had a great week on the farm, nice busy time on the farm, great time at the Marlborough Farmers Market. It was quite cool because, not yesterday but the previous week, we celebrated National Farmers Market Week, and I wore a suit, a shirt and a tie. I looked resplendent. I had a lot of people yesterday commenting, going, oh, where's the suit this week? I told them it was a special occasion, and they were like, well, why not just dress up more often? So I think I will. What else happened in the week that was? Good week at school for the kids. I think the biggest thing to come from the week that was is that there's a real sense, a real feeling in the air of change. Change in the air, literally in the air. The temperature's dropping, it's getting colder in the mornings and in the nights. Did someone say the nights? Did I mention that in the week that was? The Knights beat the Melbourne Storm. They thrashed them by 14 points to 12. But it's definitely getting colder in the mornings and at nights. And that's just a sign of change. The older that I get, the more pragmatic I get. And I come to think that change is a lot like this guy, Thanos. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. The weather's going to change, the seasons are going to change, people are going to change, the kids are going to change, they're going to grow up, they're going to outgrow that sort of childhood innocence. Actually, just on that, we're talking of childhood innocence. When I take the kids to school, I usually drop Eliza off at her class first. Corbin and I will go to her class, and then I'll take Corbin to his class. One of the things that Corbin's working on at school is saying nice, confident welcomes, nice, confident greetings to people, and just feeling more comfortable in the school. So we try as often as we can to say a nice, loud, confident greeting. So we went to Eliza's classroom to say good morning to Mrs. Lucas, which is Eliza's teacher. Corbin had a little cut on his finger, this finger just here. He had a plaster around his cut. It's only a little cut. He used to be quite precious about those sorts of things, but these days he's a bit more brave because he's changed. But he had a plaster on his middle finger. When he went up to Mrs. Lucas to say good morning, he went, "Good morning, Mrs. Lucas." And I just cracked up. She cracked up. A few of the other parents that were there, they cracked up. Because they just didn't realise. It was so funny because he had no idea that he was doing an offensive gesture. He was just showing the fact that he had a plaster on his finger and that he was proud of it. Proud of being brave. And that's that childhood innocence that he's going to grow out of, and it's going to change. Because change is inevitable. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. You can't make it go away by snapping your fingers. You can give it the middle finger all you want, but it's still going to happen. Change is inevitable. All you can really do is embrace it and look forward to the future with optimism. Speaking of looking forward, let's take a look at the week ahead. No doubt it's going to be another busy week on the farm. Another great week at the Marlborough Farmers Market, no doubt. It's a real time of change as well at the Marlborough Farmers Market. More on that shortly. The biggest thing, I guess, about the Farmers Market is that I feel really comfortable there. A lot like Corbin saying his confident good mornings. I feel like I belong there. You know, I've had jobs where, you know, I sort of felt like a bit of an alien. Speaking of aliens, let's welcome our next special guest. This guy, Alf. Welcome to the show, Alf. Great to have you. Hey, what have you got there? Where did you get that? What? Okay. Okay, folks. We'll just have to deal with that. But welcome to Alf, welcome to Basil, welcome to Thanos. Joining us here on Monday Morning Live. Week ahead, more of a change of season. It's going to get colder, it's going to get darker, especially in the nights. 14-12, baby. Well, we're going to really look forward to another positive week. Right, what else can we cover? We talked about Plant of the Week. Basil's growing great. Alf's with us, Thanos is with us. I'll tell you, with this Basil, the key thing, this Basil, not this Basil, the key thing with this Basil is that in the early stages, when we sow the seeds, you want to keep it as moist as you can. Because we know you can never underestimate the value of water. That's why I've been utilising the Benny's 6100 series spritzer. Available now in the gift shop. Why not buy two? And we've just been spritzing that as we go, just to keep it nice and moist. There we go, another little bit of live gardening here on Monday Morning Live. Well, I guess that's probably about all the time we have for this week. I think there's anything else we can really cover. Oh, I'll tell you what, we talked about Corbin with his hand gesture. Let's talk about celebrity birthdays in the week that's ahead. It's a very special birthday to another alien, my favourite Vulcan. What about that for a hand gesture? It's a happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday to Spock. Now he's the actor who played Leonard Nimoy in real life. Speaking of actors, it's also a happy birthday to Martin Short, one of the funniest guys that I've never met. He's having a birthday. He's the guy that said, and we talk about the what Alpha's got there. He's got Adam Mench's microphone. And it was Martin Short who once said, you know, I'm close with him, not because he's successful or because he's rich, but because he's both. Adam Mench is certainly that. The door has appeared behind me. I don't know if you noticed, but it's going to be interesting to watch. Speaking of interesting to watch, you can catch me anytime you want on Grow with Benny's, my YouTube channel. You can see me live and in person every Sunday morning at the Marlborough Farmers Market in Waido, Blenheim from 9 till 12. And you can see me every Monday morning here on Monday Morning Live, and I'll see you next time in the garden. Alright.